Welcome to 10 Minutes. Today's show is brought to you by Gentry Academy. Gentry is a high-end private school in Blaine that emphasizes education, leadership, and world-class hockey training. Today, Megan Stone will make her first appearance on the show of the year. She and I will talk about the importance of leadership that Gentry places on their students. But before we talk to Megan, let's talk about some big wins around the state. It seems like there was a run on girl tournaments last weekend. Rochester won the 15A Shannon Cup on their home ice. Forest Lake won the 12A Skating with the Wolves in Cottage Grove. And how about the three big winners in the Duluth Icebreakers? Number 1 EP beats Tonka in an overtime thriller in 10A. Edina cruises to an easy win over Proctor Hermantown in 12A. And the Chicago Young Americans head north and beat the number 1 team in the state, Edina Green, to win the 15A at Amsoil. In high school hockey, Minnetonka seems to be the flavor of the week. They beat our number 2 team in AA, Eden Prairie, on their home ice in OT. Dom Picciano with the game winner. Another eye-opener was Bemidji beating Hermantown on the road. Eric Fitzgerald with 2 goals for the Jacks. Another team that keeps climbing the ladder is Blake. The Bears have won 4 of their last 5 games with their only hiccup to guess who? Minnetonka. Everyone in Class A, you're officially warned. This team is for real. Their matchup with Breck next Tuesday is a big one. At the Bantam level, number 1 Minnetonka got tied by Prior Lake this week. Wayzata beats Edina, and in the bigger news of the weekend, Cloquet beats Eden Prairie up north 6-2. After watching the Blue Ox, we felt that the top 2 teams in the state were Tonka and Cloquet. Many teams, including Edina, EP, and Wayzata, have the coaching and talent to beat these 2 teams on any given day. Shout out to Orono. They won the Hibbing Bantam A tourney with a win over Greenway. They're the number 3 team in our staff rankings behind number 1 Armstrong Cooper and Edina. In Pee-wees, Osseo Maple Grove won twice last week over Minneapolis and St. Cloud. Not exactly news, but they ran their unbeaten streak to 30 games since losing to Edina in the Big Pumpkin Championship. We saw Park Cottage Grove beat Elk River Saturday afternoon. Cotter Nelson stole the show and a few goals from the Elks, stopping 28 shots as the Wolfpack beat Elk River 5-0. We're joined today with Megan Stone from Gentry Academy. Thank you for joining us today,
Thanks
Megan.
for having me.
We're going to have a little chat today about leadership. You're in charge of the leadership over there. We talk about leadership every week that you guys are on, but we don't get much action, much activity with you. We had a couple times last year, and now we got you back in studio. Talk to me a little bit about what leadership means from a Gentry perspective.
Well, I think that is one of the main things that sets our school apart is that they have leadership every day. And a lot of times I even get asked that question, what is leadership? What do you teach? We teach study skills, we teach character building, and we teach how to learn how to be a student. How do you learn how to do your job of being a student?
So that includes stuff like the one-on-one meeting with parents that they're forced to do every week. Required, I shouldn't say forced.
They are required to do a homework meeting with their parents once a week. We have student-directed conferences with teachers, with coaches. We have knowing how to use your planner, knowing how to best study for yourself. And right now, we're in the process of about a 3-month activity that we've been working on with goals.
All right, we'll get to that in just a second. Let's talk a little bit about the Shadow Day that's coming up tomorrow. You have a few spots left. What's the success of these Shadow Days? What makes it so successful?
I think it's successful because they have an opportunity to be in leadership and see how that really can help them to gain confidence in school. And then they get to have lunch with everybody, see what kind of other children are there, and then they get to skate.
So for all the hockey geeks out there, they get to come and skate too with Joe and everybody else that comes with it.
So they get to see all aspects. They don't have to sit through an entire class period to kind of get an idea of what we're about because they get to go to that leadership class and see that.
So how do you sign up for the Shadow Day?
You go online, you can sign up there, and there are a few spots left, and they've been super successful this year, and we're excited to have new kids come on board.
A new kid already joined this week?
Last week,
All right, that's great. All right, so let's talk specifically about one aspect of the leadership that you are working on with the kids this year.
Many times in school, they'll start at the beginning of the year and say, here are my goals for the year, and they just are kind of these lofty goals. Well, we have spent a lot of time.
I want to go to Harvard.
Yes, or I want to do good.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I want to get an A. Well, how does that happen? So we started in the fall, and we've continued with this new year, New Year's resolutions. But when we talk about goals, we use an acronym MINE, M-I-N-E. M, is it measurable? Can you measure that goal?
Without it, it's kind of
Right.
nebulous, right?
Is it intentional? Is
Right.
it something that can be intentional about? Now, I want to do this now. I want to be a doctor. Well, what goals can you do right now to maybe get to that point?
Right.
And then, is it
Maybe
effective?
take some science.
Yes,
That
take
would
some
be-
science.
Oh.
Take good science classes. And we don't just talk about school. They're not just students, and they're not just hockey players. We look at what are your goals in all 5 of your classes, including leadership. What are your goals academically, physically, emotionally, character
Spiritually was
building,
one of them you talked about?
spiritually,
Yeah.
and your character development. What would make you a better person? And so looking at those goals, and we've just spent some time last week looking at our goals from the fall, maybe adjusting them a little bit, and then they actually have mentor-mentee relationships, and they've been checking in with one another and having the accountability with those goals to say,
great.
what does this look like? Is this mine? Is it measurable, intentional, now, effective? All of those things. So we really travel throughout the entire year with a theme of different kinds of things. So it's not just, what are your goals and we're done. We have to revisit those, and those are life skills that they will take on forever.
I'm guessing that kids don't want to meet up with Mrs. Stone in the back hallways of Gentry if they aren't meeting their goals. Is that true?
No, you know what? I actually enjoy I don't enjoy, but I mean, it is a good thing when they can't reach a goal sometimes, because
Right.
then we can walk through that
And learn what failure is all about.
and learn
right?
that. And I don't want any child to fail necessarily on purpose, but when that happens, I see that as the perfect opportunity to help them grow. I did have one student ask me, Mrs. Stone, when I'm 30, are you going to find and see what I'm doing? And I sure hope I can see what
yeah,
these,
it's fun.
boys and girls are doing, and I could not be more proud of how they've grown and how amazing young leaders they really are in their lives, and it just makes me so proud.
All right, so now you're going to make the school proud by going on the teleprompter and talk about some now prospects.
Sounds good. Featured Now Prospects. On Sunday, 2001 USA Now Prospects faced off when the New Jersey Colonials hosted the Mid-Fairfield Junior Rangers. The Colonials featured Harvard commit Marshall Warren, skated to a 3-3 tie with the Rangers, who had BC commit Spencer Knight in the net. 2017 goalie Jake Begley stopped 33 shots for Hill Murray Saturday on their 1-0 win over St. Thomas, his second shutout in 3 games. 2018 power forward Jackson Nelson from Laverne is leading the state in scoring. The future Gopher has 86 points in 19 games for the Cardinals. 2019 centerman Jackson Judding from Prior Lake has 7 points in his last 5 games for the Lakers. Hard to imagine a better 9th grade skater goalie duo than Judding and now prospect Cade Kujawski.
Nice job, nice job. All right, now let's talk. We can do a little picks and pucks here.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about, we have 2 big tournaments this weekend, Squirts and Pee-wees.
Yep.
We'll start out with the YHH Squirtacular held in Blaine this year. I'm
Very
going to
fun
go with,
tournament.
yes, is the #1 team in the state, hasn't lost, has dominated so far, is Osseo Maple Grove. So I'm going to pick Osseo Maple Grove. You're an Edina mom, and you have lots of friends on both of the Squirt A teams in Edina. So you're going to go with one of those teams, or maybe both?
I have to go with both. I think either one of them could pull it out and beat OMG, and I have faith in both the green and white teams.
All right, so this is not just so you guys know, she knew both teams really well when I asked her to pick one off camera, and she says, I can't decide.
do it.
I think they're both good. You've been to all their games that they've played together?
I've been to a lot of the games. Some of the boys have asked me to come watch because we're very close with some of the players. And
On both teams. So you're
I
kind of
love
torn.
them both.
She says, I
wouldn't
can't
do it.
pick one or the other, so I want to pick both. So
Yep.
props to you for that.
Yep.
I think those 2 teams definitely have upset ability. Beating OMG, maybe not, but I could see it
I
for
think they
sure. I think for sure Final Four out of one of those teams is possible.
Yes.
No doubt about
Okay.
it. All right, so let's switch gears. Your son Nate plays for the Edina Pee Wee AA team. They
Yes,
head
he
up
does.
to Roseau this
Yes.
weekend. Let's make a pick there. I'm going to stand with the party line here. Osseo Maple Grove has beaten Edina 3 in a row, I think. 2 in off leagues, and once obviously in your invitational. So I'm going with OMG to win it. I talked about them earlier, having their 30-game unbeaten streak, a win streak. I think it's going to continue.
Who have they lost to?
They've only lost to one team.
There we go.
One
So I'm
team,
taking
one team
Edina.
only. You're taking Edina? You're taking Edina? I would go a small dark horse. Can't call Eden Prairie dark horse, but they're going to be up there as well. You told me off camera they're all three are going to be in this same hotel room. Think about
That's what I've
that
heard.
bundle of superstars all in one rink. There's probably some
Yes.
superstar parents in that
Oh,
group
they're
too
all
as
fun
well.
parents. We'll have
It
a
should
great
be
time.
should be a fun weekend up there. All right, I'm going to switch gears and go to the read off our trivia question. And then we'll give out our game pucks.
Sounds great.
Today's Tommy Chicago trivia question is a fun one. These three brothers all played collegiately for the Gophers. They played their high school hockey at the Memorial Building. Tommy's Chicago is a great place for lunch or dinner. They're best known for a great lunch buffet and catering. Tommy's is off of Highway 110 and Dodd Road in Mendota Heights. To win a $20 gift card at Tommy Chicago's on this question, send an email to youthhockeyhub@gmail.com. All right, now we're going to hand out our game pucks. I'm going to
Yep.
hand the puck to you first.
Okay.
You hand out your puck, and then I'll take mine and we'll roll with it.
Okay, my puck is for all of the Pee-wee moms that are getting ready for Roseau. It's a long bus ride and a lot of planning, and I'm going out to the 7-hour bus ride up to Roseau.
You're supposed to, one thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to count the steps between the Legion and the rink.
Oh, okay.
Every number is different. So you come back to me next time you see me, tell me how many steps it is
Sounds
between the Legion and
good.
whatever. So
Sounds
her, it's a
good.
lot of fun. My game puck goes out to all of the people who are going to be helping out this weekend at the YHH Squirtacular. The largest squirt tournament in the States, 64 teams, 32B, 32A. We have lots of different volunteer types help. We have high school kids, college kids, you name it. We have broadcast crew coming in. Huge game puck to everybody who's going to help out this weekend. It's going to be a great weekend. We look forward to seeing you there. We look forward to hearing about everything
Everybody
happening
up
up
in
in
Roseau.
Roseau as well.
Yep.
Have a good day.